Hello and welcome to the first episode of Fully Charged for 2018, and let me tell you, I am totally pumped and stoked and ready to rock the year. There we go, it's a bit of youthful stuff. I think this year is going to be absolutely amazing. Well, I mean, I'm going to say that because, you know, it's better than saying we're all going to die this year in a massive nuclear holocaust. That would be depressing. That would be a really miserable way of starting the year. So let's start with a little note of optimism against the odds. But there is one thing from last year, from 2017, that it is worth reminding ourselves about. Now, as some of you may have seen, the recent figures that were released by the National Grid for 2017 really do reveal the impact of all the investment in renewable energy technology. In the UK, we broke 13, count them, 13 renewable energy records in 2017. As I've mentioned before on Fully Charged, 2017 was the first year that we actually stopped burning coal for any period since the Industrial Revolution. So for about 250 years, we've burnt coal every day. And in 2017, for the first time ever, there were initially hours and then days and then many, many days where we didn't burn any coal. So apart from anything else, there is something clearly happening, and it's happening all around the world, and it's happening at an incredible rate. Now here's a good stat which may cause a bit of heated discussion on the old YouTube comments. Whoopee! So the total capacity of nuclear generating plants around the whole world is 391.5 gigawatts. That's a lot of gigawatts. But the total capacity for solar installations around the world has just reached 390 gigawatts. But while nuclear generating capacity is either static or dropping due to aging power plants, solar capacity is expanding at a staggering rate. All the predictions seem to accept that we will install a further 80 gigawatts of solar generating capacity in 2018. Now, here's the good bit. The nuclear output per year is huge. All those nuclear power stations produce 2.5 million gigawatt hours a year. All that solar generating capacity produces a mere 375,000 gigawatt hours a year. I mean, it's still a hell of a lot, but it's nowhere near as much as the nuclear. So what's going on? Well, as the skeptics are always happy to point out, the sun ain't always shining. And when it's night time, they don't generate anything. And a nuclear power plant can just go on and on and on. So the only argument, and it's the one that I'm afraid I'm completely convinced by, the only argument against nuclear power, because I think nuclear power is brilliant, is cost. It is already cheaper per kilowatt hour to generate electricity from solar, regardless of anything else. No subsidies, no special backhanders. So the more solar we put in, the more we generate over a year. And that's spread out over the whole globe. It's always sunny somewhere. One of the real drawbacks of nuclear, and it's very, very painfully obvious with Hinkley Point C, is it costs so much money. Offshore wind is already about half the price of what they're projecting Hinkley Point C to be generating in 2028, 2029, whenever it comes online. It's hugely over budget already, and it will be hugely delayed, just like the other two plants that are exactly the same that they're building in Norway and France that still aren't finished and still aren't online. And the one in Norway is now 5.5 billion euros over budget. And there's been a lot of talk about batteries, particularly the grid batteries that Tesla installed in South Australia. So just before Christmas, a power plant called Loy Yang in Australia, which generates loads of electricity by burning coal, you know, the really clean coal that they have in Australia, well, it kind of broke. Well, it blew a fuse. It went off, it went wibbly wobbly. That's the best description for it. And it stopped generating 540 megawatts. Like that, it just stopped. Well, that throws the grid into a bit of a spasm, because the whole point of the grid is that you balance supply and demand. And when your supply suddenly goes donk off, you've got a problem. And what that results in is huge rolling blackouts. Well, they didn't have them. They didn't have time to work on this, to switch another coal plant and ring them up and say, can you generate more, please, quickly now, because we're out of balance. No, instantaneously, within milliseconds, because the people who run the grid didn't even notice till later, the batteries started dumping their power into the grid and rebalanced it. When there was this massive gap in generator capacity in Australia, and the batteries completely filled that gap. And they are over 1,000 kilometres away, the batteries, from where the power plant went pop and stopped working. And that was a really remarkable thing, because those batteries weren't designed to do that. They were designed to level out the grid in South Australia. But they did it without being asked. They did it instantaneously, within 1 millisecond, which isn't very long. Anyway, enough of all that stuff. That's just a little bit of a news recap to start off 2018 with a zing and a ding and a... Yeah. Anyway, so it's really exciting, the stuff we're doing. Now, the first thing that's going to happen on Fully Charged is we're going to try a bit of an experiment. What we're going to do is we're going to release some episodes about electric cars, electric buses, electric bikes, lots and lots of new technology that's coming out. And this was all seen by Johnny Smith when he was in Tokyo last year. But we're not going to release like one episode and then wait for a bit and then release another episode. No, we're going to Netflix these babies. We're going to release them all at once. 5 new episodes are all going to be released at the same time. Yeah, so you can binge watch Fully Charged if you want. Or you can just watch one and then a couple of days later watch another, and then maybe a week later watch the next one. I don't know if it's going to work. We just thought we'd try it because we've got these brilliant episodes. They're really interesting. I've only seen 3 of them. I haven't even seen them all yet, but the 3 I've seen are amazing. So don't miss them. They're coming out very, very soon on Fully Charged. They'll be really exciting to see how you respond to 5 episodes instead of 1. You might tell us to shut the beep up. I don't know. But we'll try it. We're going to try it. We're not going to do it all the time, but we're going to try it with this one thing. So that's very exciting. And the other amazing bit of news is, which we're going to announce immediately after we release those Netflixed binge-watching episodes, is detailed news of Fully Charged Live, which is happening on the 9th and 10th of June at Silverstone in the UK. Amazing building we're going to be using. It is incredible. I can't give you any more details yet because we haven't worked it out. It's as simple as that. We've had a bit of a break over Christmas and we haven't talked. And now we're talking and it's all getting very exciting. So we'll tell how much tickets are. They're not going to be a lot. And what's going to be there, loads of stuff. And who's going to be there, everyone that counts. And it's going to be really, really exciting. I really hope you can come along and join us there. I know it's a lot of people, 65% of people who watch Fully Charged are not in the UK, which is amazing and very surprising. Actually, I think it's 67% are overseas. So we're not doing Fully Charged in lots of other places yet, but you never know, we might do. Anyway, 9th and 10th of June, put it in your diaries, very exciting. And lastly, just before I go, I want to read a few names of amazing Patreon supporters who are donating $10 a month or more to keep Fully Charged going. And it is incredible that this is happening. And I know there was a bit of a glitch with Patreon recently where they started charging the supporters extra money to cover the maintenance cost and the running cost of Patreon, which was a really bad idea. But they've stopped. So that shows something about that company. They went, right, we're going to do this, and then everybody moaned, including me, and then they went, all right, we were wrong, we won't do it anymore. So now I lose the money that it costs to administer all the funds, which is a much better way of doing it, and not you, which is really outrageous. If people are giving $2, $3 a month and then they suddenly have to pay a load more to cover the cost, hello, forget it. Moving on. Anyway, here are 5 amazing names of 5 amazing people who support us. Ian Frank Seddon, Peter Königsgruber, Tibor Torok, Sam de Freycinet, and Joseph Wynn. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate the support. It's what keeps this show going. Please do subscribe to Fully Charged so you don't miss any of our organic goodness. Please do have a look at the Patreon link that's beneath this video if you feel so inclined. And as always, if you have been, thank you for watching.